Visit tcgcastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase with TCG Center 5 code. Send us your bulk in exchange for Evolution Booster Box. Visit CCG Castle or check video description to learn more. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In today's video, we'll be looking at Mega Beedrill Yanmega Break deck for the standard format. So unfortunately, as you can see, I still didn't get Mega Beedrills, but I will definitely do that as soon as possible. So for today's video, I'm just showing a deck profile and deck analyze, so you can actually build it by yourself and test out and see how actually good or bad the deck list is. So the first thing you should notice, I'm running 3 copies of Beedrill and Mega Beedrill. 90% of the time, I just decide to go with the 3 line of the Mega Evolutions or 4-3, but that just depends on how good the first EX before Mega Evolution is. For example, for Mega Latios, I should definitely go with the 4 Latios because Latios can strike on the third one with a fast rate, and that's the reason why he make a lot of sense to go with 4-3 line. But the Beedrill 3-3 line is okay just because we have Yanmega Break as a backup attacker, so we can also use it. So the first thing about Beedrill-EX is a double scraper. The first thing you should notice is that you can discard up to 2 Pokemon tools attached to your opponent Pokemon in play. I really like the attack because we can easily counter Garbodor with a double scraper. And to be honest, that's just perfect. Pin Missile, for 2 energies, flip 4 coins. How many heads you get, 40 damage will be. So in theory, from 0 to 160, depending on how many coins you can get. The Mega Beedrill is a whole different story. It's a promo card that can be purchased only through some online stores like CCG Castle, like eBay and other. And basically, a Mega Beedrill can also be purchased by a single or like a Mega Beedrill collection box where you get 1 Mega Beedrill, 1 Beedrill, and a Beedrill Spirit Link with I think 8 booster packs. It's not a bad, but here in the Europe is like 50 euros, so it's just too much expensive. But the card by itself is just good. 200 HP, of course, weakness on the fire, but fire Pokemons are not that popular currently in the standard format, so he can definitely see some play. Since it has free retreat, I really like it. I wish it has also minus 20 or 30, whatever resistance is, on those, minus 20 actually, on those fighting Pokemons, but unfortunately it does not have. So the Hazard Stinger for 40. Basically, you can power up this Mega Beedrill with just a single energy from your hand and 1 Mega Turbo. In order to do that, you can discard all energy attached to this Pokemon. And if you do that, your opponent active Pokemon is paralyzed and poisoned, and you can put 4 damage counters on 1 of that Pokemon between turns, which is just amazing because we can easily use Mega Beedrill, leave our opponent active Pokemon paralyzed. Then next turn just attach energy, retreat down to the bench and finish the job with your Mega, depend on how many HP our opponent Pokemon has. If it's EX or Mega Evolution, with the Salt Beam we can go for 50 or 120, and basically with your Mega Break we can go for 100 without thinking too much about if it's a Crystal Ray, if it's anything. We can just go through it with the Crystal Ray, with the Barrier Break, because it's just the effect of the attack for the 100. So let's say that we strike for 80 or actually 40. Turn before, at the end of our turn, opponent get 4 damage counters from the poison. He can't retreat because he's paralyzed. He took 4 more damage counters, so he had 120. We could just finish the job with the Barrier Break for the 100, which will be enough for the 1-hit knockout almost for every Pokemon at the end of our turn, which is just amazing because he will take 4 more damage counters. So that part of the story is done. So 3-3 line of the Beedrill and Mega Beedrill, 4-3-3 line of the Yanmega and Yanmega Break. You can even go with 4 copies of Yanma, 4 copies of Yanmega, and 3 copies of and 2 copies of Yanmega Break. It's just up to you. I just realized that with some copies of Rabbit Lasers, running 4-3-3 line will be more consistent because we have 4 Yanmas, and if we can set up 3 Yanmegas, we just need those Yanmega Breaks to pull up with the Rabbit Lasers, so that makes a tons of sense. In addition to that, 16 Pokemon, as you can see right here. In addition to that, I'm running 2 copies of Max Potion. So basically with the Max Potion I can heal all damage from one of my Pokemon. Then I can discard all energy attached to that. Seems legit, definitely, because Yanmega is 140 HP, Mega Beedrill is 200 HP, so they probably won't be one-hit knocked out by most Pokemons, most popular Pokemons like Darkrai-EX and Giratina-EX, depending on how many energies your opponent has in play. Greninja can't one-hit knock them out, but Greninja actually have weakness on us, so it's not a big deal. So yeah, basically a Max Potion seems like a good idea for this build. Also, we just run basic energy, so even if our opponent managed to Chaos Lock us with Giratina, we're gonna be fine. Some other popular decks like Mega Mewtwo will also see some problems because we have 0 energy with the Barrier Break, which means that our opponent will need like 5 energies of Mega Mewtwo to one-hit knock out our Mega Break. Of course, he can use with 3 that damage swap, but he needs to have Shrine Memories in place. So definitely a lot of advantage for this deck so far against every deck in the format, that's for sure. Even Friday Night Eviltal is not a big deal. I mean, he can strike just for the 60. Still, we can heal some damage. We have free retreat on all of our Pokemon, so we don't care about Lysandre and Friday Night. So it's just so good deck to play. 4 copies of Mega Turbo, of course. Just because we attack with 2 energies, and 4 Mega Turbos is must-have for this build because why? You attach 1 energy manually from your hand to your Mega Beedrill and then just use Mega Turbo and you're ready to go with the Hazard Stinger for like 4 turns in a row if you can hit 4 Mega Turbos and 4 energies per turn, which is just great. Of course, you're going to discard 2 energies after you use attack, so you can easily bring them back with the Mega Turbo. So yeah, that's pretty much all we really need. We don't need to attack with our Mega Beedrill more than 3 times, in my opinion, because attacking 3 times is just good, and basically later we can just finish the job with the Mega Break. As you can see, I don't have Super Road in the build, but probably you can do that. You can attack 1 Super Road pretty much easily. Or even better, instead of the Super Road, I recommend Energy Recycle, so we can just recycle those energies back if we need them. But trust me, you will probably not need them, because all you really have to do is put your Mega Beedrill in active spot. 1 time use Hazard Stinger, poison and paralyze your opponent, and just surprise him later with your Mega Break, and the game is over for him. Do that 3 times, and you're clearly winner here. So 4 copies of Trainer's Mail, so we can pretty much pick any trainer card we find, expect for a Trainer's Mail in the top 4 cards when we reveal them. Of course, we don't need to show our opponent the 4 cards we revealed, but we need to show him the card we decide to pick in our hand. 4 copies of Ultra Ball, of course. Ultra Ball is the only good card for this build. I mean, you can even go with some copies of Level Ball or Repeat Ball, but 4 copies of Ultra Ball seems pretty much reasonable. More than that, I'm running also 4 copies of VE Seekers, and then from supporter line, as you can see, I'm running just 4 different supporter lines, supporter cards, and 8 of them are actually supporters for the draft. So 2 copies of Judge, because we really want to have advantage with the 4 cards in our hand for that Sonic Vision. 2 copies of N, so we can end our opponent to 1 or more cards depending on how many prize he had. And basically 4 copies of Professor Sycamore, so we can just discard our hand and draft 7 new cards. You can even go with 3 copies of N and 3 copies of Sycamore, so you can have more balance in your deck for maybe later game to not deck out yourself, but it's up to you. I highly recommend just running 2 copies of Judge, at least, so our Yanmega can actually use that Sonic Vision more often. But with so many different cards here, we're probably going to be fine with it, using every turn a Sonic Vision if we really need it to use, if you don't want to attack with the Mega Beedrill. In addition to that, so basically, I'm running 9 supporter cards in total, so 2 copies of Judge, so I can put my opponent down to 4 cards. Same thing will happen to me. It's also a big disadvantage for our opponent, especially on the turn 1, if it can happen. 1 copy of Lysandre, just if I need to Lysandre something. 2 copies of N, as I mentioned it, and 4 Sycamores, just pretty much discard hand and draft 7 new cards. So from Stadium card, of course, you need to have Forest of the Giant Plant. So each player grass Pokemon can evolve during his or her first turn, which means if we go first, we can attack turn 1. You can even attack. We can even Mega Evolve into Mega Beedrill without having Spirit Link, which is pretty badass. But we can even set up that Mega Beedrill with Hazard Stinger for turn 2 to attack, which is just amazing. And also being able to power up maybe a Mega Break turn 1 can also be very powerful. But even Mega Beedrill turn 1, if you go second, on turn for if you go second on the first turn, we can easily Mega Evolve and use Stinger for 40 and basically leave our opponent active Pokemon poisoned and paralyzed, and with 40 damage, that's just ridiculous. Of course, 3 Spirit Link, so we can Mega Evolve into Mega Beedrill without losing our turn, and 8 basic grass energies, which will mean 60 cards for this deck in total. If you're looking for any of them, of course, you can find them on TCGO with the TCG Center 5 code. You can also get 5% discount on your purchase, so also keep that in mind. So the final conclusion for the deck is that it's definitely very good. It can attack for 0 energies, or it can attack just for 1 energy per turn from your hand and with 1 Mega Turbo, which is just ridiculous. It can do so many damage, so many trouble to your opponent active Pokemon. You can even affect your active Pokemon with 2 special conditions. The first one, paralyzed, which means that your opponent will not be able to retreat, attack, or do anything else, which is just amazing. So he will need something like Olympia to basically waste turn of support card to remove his active Pokemon from the active spot, so to retreat on the bench in order to be able to attack with another one, something like Escape Rope, something like a Switch, or basically something like a Center Lady to heal the damage from the Stinger and Poison and Paralyzed, and basically be able to attack, or maybe even full heal. But who runs full heal these days? I mean, Pokemon Center Lady make a lot of sense, Olympia make a lot of sense, especially with the current format. It's a very good supporter card, so I highly recommend you to run Olympia in your deck if you have problems with the Mega Beedrills. That will definitely help you a lot. Overall, I think the deck has a lot of potential. The deck list is just a near perfect. It can be tweaked a little bit much better, always as usual. It all depends on your meta in the current locals, and it all depends on basically your game style. Do you like to be more aggressive with more damage counters, more consistent, or you want to have some tech cards like enhanced hammers, like teammates and other stuff? You can definitely tweak even some of these cards. As I mentioned it, there can be few adjustments made. For example, you can add 4 Yanmegas and 2 Yanmega breaks instead of the 4-3-3 line. You can even cut one of your trainer's mails in addition to add Super Road, or you can even cut 1 Sycamore in addition to add 1 and it's just all up to you. There's so many different options you can go with this deck, but trust me, you should definitely try it out and see how really good it is in the gameplay. So I hope you guys enjoy watching this deck profile with the Mega Beedrill and Mega Break. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more future videos. If you have any questions, as usual, don't forget to leave comments below. So till the next time, have a nice day wherever you are. See you in the next video, and goodbye.